Hello again. This is Calvin, and today I'm going to show you what I believe is the most effective way to restore old faded bumpers to like-new condition. Sit back and enjoy. This should be good. Well, I've got this 2006 Nissan Frontier, and it's in pretty good shape, but it's been parked outside for the last, 16 years or so since it was new. It's never been parked inside. And I really like it, and it shines up nice with the exception of these bumpers and some of the other plastic trim on it. And I got to tell you, I have tried all different kinds of waxes, Armor All, everything you can think of putting on it, and nothing seems to work. So I'm going to try something new today. I'm going to try using a heat gun, and because I've heard that works, and we're going to see if we can get this thing coming to like new using a heat gun. So I'm heating up the surface here, and you can see it's already starting to melt it slightly. You don't want to get too much heat on there, but melting it ever so slightly, and look at that. It's making it come back to like new again. How about that? So I'm going to keep doing this. I think I want to make sure I keep the heat moving because I don't want to distort the plastic. Yeah, that's coming out really, really nice. All those old scratches and lines coming right out. How about that? Probably have to go over it a little bit where it came in a little bit light, but for the most part. I want to make sure going along the edge that I don't heat up the paint. I hate to have my paint bubble. Yeah, that's working out really nice. Maybe go over it a couple of times there just to make sure it all blends in nice. So you can see it's working pretty well. I do have kind of a dark spot here. Let's see if we can't blend that in a little bit better. That's doing a pretty decent job. You can see the half I've done, and there's the half I've not done. It takes a little bit of time to do it, and you just keep going over. If you have some light spots in it, just keep going over it with the heat gun, and you're just melting the polymers on it to blend them back together again. And yeah, I think it's working out pretty well, and all it costs is the electricity to run the heat gun. Let's see how it does on this part here. So when I did this section under the wipers, I should have done a better job of cleaning it before applying the heat to it. So I recommend you make sure you do a good job of removing all the debris before you do it. And also, make sure you remove any water beforehand, because if you don't, anywhere where there's little water spots, it creates little cold areas where it takes a little while for the heat to get underneath there. So always remove all the water first. So let's try it out on the rear bumper. Here I've already attempted to restore the left side. Now, this didn't come out as well as the front bumper, but I think that's because it's not the original bumper. You see, some bonehead without insurance rear-ended me a couple of years ago, and my insurance company, they paid for a new bumper, but obviously it's not as good as the original equipment bumper from Nissan, because if you look at the quality of this thermoelastic polymer cover, it's not as good as the original. It really doesn't seem to handle the heat as well, it doesn't seem to flow as evenly, and it reaches melting temperature a lot quicker, so I need to really be extra careful with the heat gun. In fact, I should probably be using a lower setting too, as when I did the front bumper I was using the high heat setting, but I don't think it can really take it here on this rear bumper. Now, that did cause me to get a little bit of blistering of the polymer covering when I did the left side of this bumper, but it was pretty minor, and I think I can probably get bubbles out if I carefully reapply the heat gun, and I'll do that later. Anyway, as you can see here, it definitely looks a lot better, but I'll probably need to go over all of it again to get it looking more uniform. But it's getting late, and I need to wrap it up before it gets too dark. Well, here's the finished product. I must say that it came out much better than I expected. As I said before, I have tried a lot of chemical treatments and so-called miracle applications that promise to restore automotive plastic and vinyl, and for me, those were all just big waste of money, especially when trying to restore bumpers and trim that have been extremely faded by the sun. There are also a lot of products being advertised right now that are just scams, and many of those products just leave an oily residue that attracts dust. However, I will say that good old Armor All, it does work well on newer vinyl and plastics, and I did apply a light coating of it after using the heat gun, and it really brought out a nice sheen to the plastic. Well, I really hope you enjoyed this video and that you find this technique useful for restoring old faded bumpers and trim on your own vehicles. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe if you haven't already, and most of all, have a great day!